Hello everyone over here on the Designs Academy channel. My name is Nate, and today I have a nice tutorial for you guys. This tutorial is going to be how to blend in a logo to a scene. This is, from photo manipulations. If you want to do like a manipulation banner, like Monk 7 Mads contest like I did here, you can see it's blended in all nice, and I put on a nice color correction. So let's get right into it. So first we're going to need to actually make the scene. So we could either make the scene or we could use a pre-made one. So I have Flu Design Stock Pack. This is free. If you just Google it, you'll find it. So I go to part 3, then I go to nature, and then I go to landscapes, and then he has loads of landscapes. I'm gonna try to find a good one. We're gonna go for a more grassy texture, grassy type of feel. Maybe we could actually look out here. Let's see. That's the one I did with Monk 7 Mads. We could do it again. Could we do this? Yes, we can. Let's do this one. So drag it into your scene and resize accordingly. So just make it a little bit bigger to fit the whole screen. Now, if you want to leave it this kind of like desaturated, kind of dark feel, you can, or you could, put on a cool color correction and make it lighter. So I'm just gonna do one little color correction. So get like an orange. This is the code if you want it. Press B and get a nice size regular brush and just draw over the landscape, not the sky. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're bringing down the opacity a lot, but just something like that. And if you want to be perfect, you can delete it a little bit. But that's about right. Okay, and then put the blend mode on soft light, and it kind of gives it a really not good feel. So that's why you start the opacity at 0 and you bring it up accordingly. So I like something like that. And then, cool. So you can change the sky if you want. I'm not going to change the sky just for the purpose of the tutorial. The only thing you'd have to do is just make a layer mask, pen tool all of this, and then fill it with black. I'm going to do another tutorial on a layer mask later. So yeah. Let's now export this, say for web. And now we're going to open Cinema 4D to actually put the logo. Maybe to actually construct the logo. If you don't have Cinema 4D, you need to get it. And yeah, so I'll just save it to my desktop, and I will be right back once I open my Cinema 4D file. Alright, so I have opened up my scenery Lightroom, and this is rated Design Scenery Lightroom. Sorry. I don't normally like using other people's Lightrooms. I like making my own because I'm just that kind of person. But for this, I feel Rated really deserves the victory on this. He did such a good job on this Lightroom, and it's perfect. So we're gonna need to. Now, one thing that I didn't like about it is that this is really far away from the actual grid. So when you spawn stuff in, it's not going to be close at all. Let me fix my mic. Alright. So this is the thing I did with Monk 7 Mad. I don't think I even saved the texture anymore. Maybe I did. No. So make a new mat. I'm just going to open up this mat. And with the texture, open up click the 3 dots, and then you're going to want to find the the composition that we just made right there. Press no, and now the material is on the material. Well, the texture, the thing we made, is on the material. Yeah. So now go to your settings, and since we made it a 1920 by 1080 comp, we're going to want to go to output and 1920 by 1080 and make the res on 300 because we made the res on 300. So let's just delete that. So now it's really kind of trial and error here. If you gotta want to know where your light source is coming from. So I'm gonna have my light source up here. So you're gonna want to make the what's it called, the soft boxes accordingly. So let's spawn in a logo. So open. I'm gonna do Obey's logo because, you know, they got their RC out right now. Desktop logo Obey AI. Okay. I should have merged it, but whatever. Copy, paste. Okay. So as you can see, it's really small. I don't know why the heck Rated put it this way, but that's okay. I'll probably make one later. So now what you're gonna want to do, you're gonna want to make this logo have some geometry. So Extrude Nurbs, 2 Extrude Nurbs for 2 paths. Drag it in. You should all know this by now if you've been watching DesignsAcademy for a while. So make the size a little bit bigger. We're gonna do like a 60 size, I think. Make it 60 is good. So now we're gonna need to rotate it like that, 90 degrees. 5 more. And now we're gonna need to drag it back, so it's gonna take a while. Bang. Oop. Bang. I'm not sure why he made it this far out, but you know, stuff happens. Okay, and now this is the one thing I have to understand with you. So there's a plane, right? And this plane right there, this plane right here, that is where you're gonna get your shadows off. So you're gonna need to kind of place that realistically in the scene. So if you want the logo, let's just make the logo a bit bigger. So if you want the logo to be on the ground like this, say I don't know, like that, you're gonna want to make the plane right under the logo in a realistic spot. Realistic as in like the right kind of rotation and stuff. So let's see how close we are. Oops. Right about there. So now we're gonna try to make it in a realistic spot. I would make the plane a bit bigger, and the plane shouldn't have a texture on it. You're gonna want to get this texture and put it right on it, just like that. Oops. Hold Control and like that. So now when we render it, it should work, but the softboxes aren't in the good spot. So let's just save our camera angle right there. I guess if we want, this is not realistic. Something like this, maybe. I guess, yeah. Let's make our logo a bit bigger because you want the logo to be big enough. And kind of make it going into the ground a little bit, just to give it that more realistic feel. Something like that. So save our camera angle, get out of the camera angle, and now we're going to need to do our lighting. So you want to realistically do your lighting. So I'm going to have the light source be from here. So you're going to want to get a big softbox, this big softbox, and rotate it accordingly. And we're going to have to move it back a little bit. And as you can see, it's finally casting shadows. I'm going to make this a bit bigger. Move it over here. Get this softbox and make this one a little bit bigger. Go away. 1 second. Okay. So make this a bit bigger, and this is going to be our overhead light, just to give it a little more shadow. Just like that. And this is a little box that is that's just for lighting up the scene a little bit. And this is why I love Rated's thing so much. It just works perfectly all the time. Make that back a little bit, rotate it. A lot of this is trial and error just for the certain logo. And just like that, let's render it out and let's see how it looks. We are not done yet. We're going to need to go back into Photoshop and make some realistic shadows and stuff. And one thing we also have to do is fix this line here, because that doesn't look good at all. So I'm actually going to use this for my RC, so I'm going to try to make this look a little good. Something like that. That's too much of an angle, actually. A lot of this is trial and error. It's like really weird. Let's render this out. Now we also need to texture the logo. Rated Designs literally puts on the texture, the composition that we made. I don't like that personally. I like putting on a concrete texture, kind of like this one that I've made. I'm not going to give this out because I'm too lazy. It's really simple. You just put in a concrete texture, diffusion, specular, and displacement. A little displacement. And yeah. Let me just make 7. And 10. Oops. 10. Good. So let's drag that onto our Extrude Nurbs. Make it. If you make it cubic, the thing is so far back that it's not gonna look good. So you gotta put it on frontal, I think. Yeah, frontal and seamless, and then drag it also onto our other Extrude Nurbs, just like that. And let's render this out. See how it looks. And you can see what the plane does. It makes realistic texture, realistic shadows based on where the light source is coming from. And that's looking good. So let's render this out, just like this. And this will only take a little while. So I'll be right back. Just drag it into Photoshop, and I'll see you there. Okay, it was done rendering. Didn't take a little while. Didn't take a while at all. So I saved it as something gay, like manipulation station. So mine's a little weird and doesn't actually save the background, but that's okay because make sure you keep this open. You can make sure you keep this comp open and just drag it in, and it puts it right on the spot because it's the same dimensions, and that's why you have to put it on in Cinema 4D. You can't be lazy. So you can see right now it looks really good, but there's a lot of stuff we can add, and you can see there's this little line here, and I don't like that. So let's just merge that and make a. Actually, no, let's just do it. So get your puppet tool, and actually, yeah, duplicate it. Just hide the copy and then merge these because they're being destructive. So use the puppet tool. If you haven't watched my puppet tool that I did about 2 weeks ago, you gotta watch that. So I'm not gonna really explain how I'm doing it. I'm just gonna actually do it because I explained it in that other tutorial. So let's just do puppet tool. Alright, so get a soft brush. Hold Alt, click, and then go over. I did this in my recent speed art if you watched it. Actually, that was on my main channel. If you want to check out my main channel, it's youtube.com/stormeffecthd. Pretty simple. Yeah, I don't think it's in the description. So now we gotta zoom in a lot because get a smaller brush. Damn it. Puppet tool. What the hell is going on? Photoshop's being gay. 1 second. Okay. So get a selection and go over it. If you want to be really neat, you can pen tool. Actually, maybe you can select it. Yeah, you just select it and then do select inverse, and then that won't let you go actually onto this. So I'll show you. Let's go to here. So now I can actually drag on. I can be lazy and it won't actually go onto this. So that's good. But we're done with that. So now we're gonna go in here. I'm just gonna fast forward this from here. So once I'm done with that, I will come back.
Even worse, mama, as you look back on your life, you'll see it's full of bad karma. You moved to Las Vegas to suck a dude's dick, and it's sad that I ain't lying when I'm saying that shit. The loves of your life are some dogs and a fish, and I ain't calling you family, I'd rather get sick.
Okay, so we are back now, and I've just pen tooled it out, so you can see the difference between that and that. Nice. So, and the shadows are still there, so that's great. So now we're going to do the shadows, actually. So you got to make realistic shadows. So let's just make a, this isn't going to be on the final image, but let's just to make sure, this is where our light source is coming from. Just so you know. So, ever you're wondering, you know, it's right here. Okay. So, get a black brush. And put it over your composition and put it on keep it on normal and bring down the opacity like a lot. And now we're gonna do some realistic shadows on the actual render, like that. Okay, so if the light source is coming from this way, our shadows would be casting off to the right. So what we're gonna want to do, we're gonna want to find our shadow that we've been doing right here, and I'll just restart this. So make a new layer above your composition that you've made with your logo composited into the logo, into the background. And we're going to want to get a soft brush, so I'm trying to open up my brush thing right now, which is going to take long, because it's pissy like that. So, it has opened, so let's get a nice brush, right like you, and get a black brush, and keep the blending mode on normal, but just bring down the opacity to like, I don't know, 30. And we're going to want to create our shadows. So let's just color in kind of like this, maybe drag out a little bit, just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect because we can bring down the opacity more. Okay, so now that our main shadows are done, another thing we can do is just kind of roughly pen tool around the logo. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. This is gonna be this is gonna get our, you know, a little more realistic shadow. So let's fill this path with black, and we're gonna need to make a new layer, and then fill path with, oh, not white. Fill path with black. Alright, and now we're gonna need to pen tool this part roughly. Just do this, you know, simply. Make selection. And then, so now that we have a rough logo, right click, flip vertical, and drag this down here. And now we're going to need to position this accordingly. So you hold command. I'm literally just holding command right now, and making our logo kind of look realistic. So something like that. And now go up to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Sorry, let me get my, okay. And, I don't know, something like 6, maybe. And, change the fill, down. And, now we have some more realistic shadows. There's our base shadow. We can change on the opacity a little more. And then our, color shadow. So let's just get you like that. Alright, so now that our light source is done, what we're going to want to do is, we can delete this because we know where our light source is by now. Another thing we can do is, we can kind of make these shadows in here a little more realistic, so I'm going to do that now. So just change opacity and just color a little bit, and that'll make it darker. Maybe on this side too, and then just erase the edges like so, and then you can make it darker and lighter based accordingly, and there we go. So now this part down here doesn't look realistic because it's just a cut edge and it's grass. So what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to merge all, actually, yeah, we can merge all these layers. No, duplicate the this thing right here. Actually, no, that won't work. Yeah, okay, I know what to do. So just merge all the layers and drag in the composition drag in our comp with no logo right here. Just drag that in, and that's what we're gonna layer mask. I'll show you. It's very simple. Okay, just keep the transform like that and put it up. Okay, so what we're gonna want to do, we're gonna want to, so this layer is a little desaturated, this one is a little more saturated, so we're gonna want to rasterize this and then create a hue and just bring down the saturation a bit, and then it's kind of similar. So now we're gonna want to layer mask this and put this on black so that it's invisible. Black is invisible. Black is not showing. White is showing. So make sure you're on the layer mask and make sure you have white. And press B, and it's gonna give you this brush. You don't want this brush. You're gonna want a so right click. You're gonna want this brush right here. This comes with Photoshop, I'm pretty sure, and it's basically a grass brush, and it's gonna allow us to layer mask some grass over it. So we're gonna want to we're gonna want to select this, and we're gonna take off color dynamics and transfer, and that's just a good habit you want to get into. And now we're gonna want to make these realistic. So we're just gonna color over like this, and you can see the difference. This is more saturated, and it's not really realistic. So to do this, we're gonna erase the bottom part, and we're gonna have to change the saturation to make it blend a bit more. So something like that, maybe like that, and then go back on your layer mask and let's draw out some more. You may have seen this in a recent speed art I've done, and you can see that the grass now is more kind of overtaking the logo, and that's a really cool feel that I got. And so after 23 minutes, a little bit of a long tutorial, you can see that we've blended in our logo. You can see like this, and it looks really cool. You can leave it like that, or you can leave it like this. It doesn't really matter. I like this better. And yeah, so you can do a lot with this. I showed you how to make scene, how to add a logo, and how to blend it. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you want any more tutorials, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.